Are we recording?
Weekends are not for showers.
Spitting on the ones and twos.
Wait, are we gonna get copyright infringement for that?
Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister.
We're really relying on our editors to do a good job.
She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh. And I think that's all I could sing before we get dinged. I think it's like 10 seconds of a song.
Yeah, I think
And that's it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister. I'm Erica.
And I'm Leia.
And I drive myself crazy all the time. Just kidding. I drive Leia crazy. But not this week.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
this week.
Even
Guys.
if it was like, she can call me all the time. It's totally fine.
Guys, we have like a big update. Leia doesn't even know about this.
I'm
I've been
excited.
holding
This
it
is-
in all week.
This is breaking news for everyone.
There's a breaking news on the healing journey, but that's gonna be later. That's at the end of the show.
Okay. We have to wait just a little longer.
You gotta listen to us. In order to know what it is. But first, let's talk about rewind topics.
Let's
Leia,
do it.
how was your butter popcorn last week?
Oh my god, so good. We found a place, and of course, it was like 20 minutes away. We went on a deep dive, though.
Oh, really?
We like Googled all of the movie theaters near us
Yeah,
and looked at all the Google pictures
Mhm.
from that people post
Mhm.
and zoomed in on the concession stands just to find for sure a place that had the
Yeah.
butter dispenser,
Mm-hmm.
and it was delicious. And guys, I know I'm late to the party about Top Gun Maverick. I
Mhm.
loved it. It was so good. I'm so glad we watched it in the theater because I felt like it was like right there, and I was like, "Oh no, all the G's!" It was so good. And I had just watched the Top Gun like maybe a month or so ago,
Yeah.
the original, so everything was like fresh in my head. And the casting of Miles Teller as Goose's son, spot on, freaking spot on. He looks just like his kid, like it's crazy. But
Yeah, Miles
loved it.
is the guy that had the scars, right? He has like scars on his face or something.
I
It's like a
don't
scar
know.
on
I
his
don't
face.
think so. Miles Teller.
Yeah, I know
You
who you're
know,
talking about.
I don't know about scars. I don't remember any scars. on-
Yeah. It is him. He has a scar. Oh, he has a scar in his chin.
Oh,
Yeah,
What's
and
that from?
He was like I think he was in a bad car accident
Oh,
or something.
shit.
Like he
I
nearly
didn't
like
know
died or
that.
something.
Holy crap!
Let me
I
go
didn't
see
know.
like let me see maybe
I
make
did not
sure.
know that.
Let me make sure. Okay, so in 2007, Teller was a passenger in a car that lost control at 80 miles an hour. The
Shit.
car flipped 8 times. He has multiple scars on his face from the crash. So
Oh,
that's
shit.
the IMBD. I know, not the IMBD, the Wikipedia version of it.
Oh,
So I
shit.
think I
Yeah.
probably made up the fact that he almost died. I don't. It's
Yeah,
probably
I
not
mean,
true.
That's an intense car accident.
Yeah, it's
though.
an intense.
Um,
So
So, loved it. Loved the movie, and I perfectly layered that thing. Like, layer of
Yeesh.
popcorn, little bit of butter, layer of
Yeah.
popcorn, little bit of butter. Shake it up every
Shake
single
it
time.
up.
It was delicious. And
Nice.
now that we're talking about it, I want popcorn again.
well,
I'll have to
I'm
wait till
going
next week.
Yeah, I'm going to the movie theater today, so maybe I'll get popcorn for you.
Are
Maybe
you going-
because I'm going to Korean barbecue
Oh,
after.
God, yeah, I know.
So
I know.
I don't want to fill up on popcorn, and it's just like, and you know me, like I mentioned last week, when I go to the movie theaters, I just go and watch. Like I don't really
Yeah.
care to buy stuff, so I'll
I
probably
care
just.
about my buttered
Yeah.
popcorn. I mean, you could get a small one. You don't have to go all out. But
know.
I would save myself for Korean barbecue too.
Yeah,
It sounds
like.
so freaking
And
good.
I don't know. I'm gonna go watch Thor, and I have a feeling it's a long ass movie, so maybe I will get some popcorn. You know, I try to watch. Okay, yesterday I tried to watch Thor Ragnarok,
Mhm.
and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't like boring. It was just that like I was tired
Yeah.
and I wanted a nap, and then I woke up
Yeah.
and it was done, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna go watch the new Thor.
Yes.
And I'm going because I'm in the energy of new experiences. So a while back ago I joined a movie club, and we meet on Zoom. So I met someone
So
online when I was like doing like Beachbody and network marketing. I know you guys could throw up. And he's from my hometown, and he happens to be like my cousin's friend. And we just kind of kept in touch via like Instagram, and he's hit me up a few times, and I've met with him because he wanted to start a podcast and he wanted to pick my brain when I first started podcasting. And so we just kind of stayed good acquaintances, you know, and I joined this movie club, and he messaged me. He's like, "Are you going to go to Thor? You should go to Thor. Like, go to Thor. I'll drive. I'll pick you up." And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. So I'm going to Thor with a bunch of people I don't really know. Mostly, I mean, I've spoken to them via this movie club. They're just a little like dot on the screen because they have their cameras off most of the time. So it's like, I'm a little nervous because I don't know them. And plus, I'm like a little bit older than them. And so I just feel kind of off. So I'm just going to I'm going to be a little bit guarded until we get to Korean barbecue. Then I'm going to go ham.
Yes.
Ham town. Which is not really true because I'm such an extrovert that probably
you're gonna,
not.
Yeah. You're gonna, once you're in their energy, you're going to be like all in.
Yeah, but they love Marvel. Like, I mean, I like Marvel. I have nothing against Marvel, but they love Marvel. So I may feel like a little bit out of fish out of water, but I'll just listen to their conversations and just, you know.
You'll have stuff to contribute, for sure.
Maybe, yeah. And I'm cool if I'm just quiet there and listening to them talk as I eat my Korean barbecue.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So, yeah.
Love it.
Well, I'm glad you got your popcorn fix on. My question was, what am I trying to say? How far is the closest movie theater to you?
5 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Literally down the street.
Yeah, you're like 20 minutes. And I was like, I'm driving an hour and there's like a movie theater here, but
there's many much closer ones that I could have selected. But.
Yeah, well, we're going to an IMAX one, and that's probably the closest IMAX one. Because there's some in Santa Cruz. There's one here in Watsonville, but they're like just whatever movie theaters. So
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. All right, I have a fun little update. So the other day, so first off, Gen Z loves me.
Gen Z loves you.
Gen Z fucking loves me. Like,
you guide them, girl. Guide them.
At work, there's like some interns for the marketing department, and they sit near me because usually those desks have been empty forever. Before COVID, there was like nobody there, and so on Friday, the last time I was in the office, I don't remember when. It was either like Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember. This week was kind of weird. I wasn't really in the office as much. But this little girl, she's like in her 20s. She came up to me. She's like, "Oh, how was lunch?" Because like last time I saw her, we were going to do lunch with like my group. And she used to work at the restaurant. So she's just like talking to me. And then we start talking about music. And then she straight up says, 90s music is the best music. You guys had some bops. And I was like, fuck yeah, bitch.
Yes, we did.
You know what's up. We
yes,
down.
We did.
I don't even remember your name, but I fucking love you because you just told me that the music of my generation is way better than your fucking music and that you are
100%.
jealous. She straight up said, like, I'm jealous you grew up with that.
Yeah.
She understands. You know, and I forgave her for liking country because she did tell me she liked country, and I was like, "You're okay now. We can continue this relationship, whatever it is. I could be your mentor,
exactly.
Show you the ropes around life. But you cool, girl. You cool because you like 100%. The '90s, early 2000s music.
It is the best music.
Yeah. So, just like a little Gen Z update. I was like, fuck yeah. I felt like excited. But like literally she just talks to me and I'm like, aww. And then this other girl, I was in the 4th of July parade. This other girl was so like cute. Talking to me too. And I was like, Gen Z, you love
They love you. I mean, there's nothing like being 40 apparently. Nothing.
I guess not.
Yeah.
40, but I look 29 and I'm sticking to it.
There you go.
So, we can move on to struggles before I give you my healing update.
I know. Okay, so we're going to leave your stuff for last. I will go first with my struggle. Kind of a rewind, too. So last week, was that just last week, I went to the movies. I got hit with some anxiety. But I think also because... like there was that shooting in Chicago at an Independence Day parade. So I think I was just like in a really weird energy.
Mhm.
But now I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Virginia for work, and I'm anxious. I can like
Mhm.
I don't want to go. And not that like I don't want to go. Like I want to like being there feels
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
think I'm feeling a little like I don't nervous, a little
Yeah.
anxious. Um I took a month off traveling in June, so that
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Um but I think it's also because the last time I went, I got COVID.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
have this like almost like fears. I'm not afraid of
Yeah.
getting COVID again. It was just like I didn't realize how much that kind of impacted me
Yeah.
emotionally and mentally to
Mhm.
be isolated for like 10 days and stuck in a hotel room like that.
Mm.
I mean, as much as I say I'm an introvert, true, but I also don't think like generally speaking humans are designed to be just completely isolated. I think
Yeah.
I like having choice.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like I like being connected to people as much as I
Mhm.
do like being alone. So I think it was just a lot to
Mhm.
not be, you know, interacting with people. And
Mhm.
so I think I don't know. I think my body is experiencing like because it's a physical experience right now.
Mhm.
Like this like pit of my stomach kind of feeling,
Mhm.
some heaviness. Um, because being there is not a big deal. It's just like traveling. Like, am I gonna encounter like am I gonna wait? Like what cold am I gonna catch? And I
Mhm.
am in the process of shifting that energy and just acknowledging that I am a little bit fearful and I am
Mhm.
a little bit scared and anxious, and knowing that that's not permanent and it doesn't mean that it's real. It just means like this
Mhm.
is my experience, and shifting my focus to what of all the fun that I'm going to have and the connections I'm going to make, and lean into it. Cuz sometimes when we feel these kinds of things, you just kind of have to feel them. Like, can't run
Mhm.
away. Like,
Mhm.
you got to just experience it and
Yeah.
allow them to pass. So I know in my head like this is going to pass, but I think
Yeah.
as the day gets closer for me to go travel,
Mhm.
like the more intense those feelings are. And
Mhm.
so like it's like, okay, we'll just move through it because
Yeah.
I already know that it's not like it doesn't have to be real. It's something that I
Mhm.
experience, and I don't need to bring the past into the present. I could just
Mm.
feel the things and let it flow through me and
Mhm.
allow like excitement to come in too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I think that's just kind of where I'm at like in this moment and today. Um so, you know,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get you. Like, I'm feeling anxious today too to go to like the movie
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
And like right now in my head, I was like, oh, should I wear a mask? Because I haven't been wearing a mask, and I'm going to
Yeah, yeah.
Disneyland next weekend. So
Yeah.
like, I don't want. I want to go to Disneyland. Like, I haven't
Yeah.
been to Disneyland in like 8 years since like
Mhm.
Miley was one. I'm really excited to go to Disneyland. Even if
Aw.
I ditch my parents and my sister and the girls and walk around by myself, I'm like willing to do it
Yeah,
because like I
yeah.
love Disneyland.
I want to
And
go so bad, but
so like like that stuff comes up, and like
yeah.
of course the shooting. I saw the announcement come on like seconds
Yeah.
before I was gonna be in the parade because I volunteered for work.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I was like, I told my coworker, she's like, why did you tell me? I was like, because I had to say something. And I mean, we were fine. It was
Of
just hot
course,
and
yeah.
humid. But it's just kind of like those things now that we have to kind of live with, and it
Mhm.
sucks. Like we want to go and have fun, but
Mhm.
there's always that thought in our mind, like, what if something happens while we're
Mhm.
out here? Because we really don't feel safe. And yes, that
Mhm.
could happen no matter what. Like, you could be driving and get in a car accident, but those
Yeah,
are less like
100%.
things that we've been used to. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's just kind of, yeah, I probably have to meditate before I go.
Yeah.
And for me, it's
I
just
did
bigger. Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just so much bigger because I'm going with like people I don't really know. I'm meeting new people. Like I kind of know them, but I'm not. And so there's just like a lot of anxiety there because usually go to the theater with people and like that's something Chewy and I used to do a lot. And we used to go to the theater. And so like now it's like, oh, I'm going with like a bunch of strangers, but at the same time, it's like I'm going with a bunch of strangers, and again, it's expansive. It's forever growth, forever growth expansion.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, like I'm trying to remind myself as I'm in it, in a little bit of a swirl of anxiety, is like, like being in my body and being present to now. Yeah. Like in this moment, am I safe? Yes. And it's sometimes it's like moment by moment. Like I'm safe. I'm well. I'm healthy. I'm, just, I feel good. So sometimes or a lot of the time, it's like being in the feelings of what I want to experience. So like right now, because I can feel it, like there's a pit of my stomach kind of stuff, and like I can also feel like I feel physically good. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I'm happy. Like I'm, feelings of excitement and bringing those forth, because I think sometimes it's like when we experience anxiety, it's like bringing the future into the present, or like our fear into the present, or or our past into the present. So like allowing space to just be present and bring in the feelings that
and letting go of control, because there's a lot of things you can't control. Like you just control what you can, and go from there.
Exactly.
Go from
and
there.
Acknowledge that we're living the lives we want to lead. Like we're or if you're not, you're building into it, like little by little. And it's those like small shifts, small acknowledgments, small like moments of gratitude. Like, okay, this is exactly where I am, and
I need to be.
I'm good. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. Should I go into high vibe and you just want to do a back to back, or what do you want to do?
Well, I was gonna do struggles and high vibes and then do my healing
journey. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
All right, do you, girl? Do you.
Struggles. So many struggles. They're very superficial. But first off, the sriracha shortage has to stop.
Oh my gosh. 100%.
I had to it didn't hit me until recently when I ran out of sriracha, and then I went to go buy some, and I totally forgot that you had told me that there's a sriracha shortage, and I was like, where's the sriracha? But I went to like the grocery store that never has anything. And then like I was like, okay, well, I guess I had a sriracha. So then I went to sushi like a few days after that, and like I asked for a side of sriracha, and they're like, oh, that's extra because of the shortage. And I was like, you know what, never mind, I'll just eat my sushi by myself. Even though it was on company dime, because it was like a work lunch.
Goodness, yeah.
I was like, oh my god. And so that like I was like, it needs to stop because I need my hot sauce. I like to have different hot sauces available for different things, and sriracha is one of them that I like to have. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening?
I gotta look this up.
Well, as you look it up,
because there's another sriracha type of sauce that you can find in what's that place called?
Trader Joe's?
Whole Foods. And I know it by the bottle, and I can't find it. It is so good. I would even venture to say
it's better. It's much better.
Yeah. I will find it and I will circle back.
All right, send it back. The other thing is, I think my coffee machine might be like breaking because I have like the little pods, the current thing.
Yeah.
And within the last month, it's done this twice where I'm making coffee and it just goes like and it does that, and like it doesn't really bring out anything. So it did it yesterday, not yesterday because I didn't have coffee yesterday. I did it Friday, and I had to like just mess around with it a few times, and then finally it like it just worked, and it worked this morning, so I made 2 cups today. But I was like, okay, this is happening often. What's going on here? Like, why is the like the pump or whatever, the water pump on it, like giving up. Now I don't, because I have the one like yours, Leia, where it's the pods and then you can do a full pot.
Yeah, like a pot.
Well, I haven't done a full pot in a long time because I live by myself, you know, so I don't need a full pot.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like, what the f? So I hope it doesn't break because, you know, I need my coffee in the morning, especially when I work from home or the weekends.
But there's always something exciting about like a new one.
It's not that old. It's it's only like a year and a half.
It shouldn't be breaking.
Yeah, I think we got it like Christmas of 2020.
Oh, snap. Yeah, it shouldn't be breaking
so
then.
That's what's kind of weird. And lastly, so I bought this like I have this like plant that I bought that is like looks like it's dying, and people were like, you know, maybe repot it. So I bought like a bigger pot, and I thought the pot didn't have, you know how some pots have like holes, you know? I thought this pot didn't. Like I looked at it, and so luckily I brought the plant because the plant's going to be in my spare bed in the room that I'm painting. But I brought it out to the kitchen because I was painting the ceiling, and so I was like, I don't want paint on here. And so I was like, oh, it looks a little dry, let me pour water. So I put water. Then, like, after hours of painting, I come back and there's like a big old puddle around it, and I was like, oh my god. And luckily I have like old towels that I grabbed an old towel and like put it on the floor to absorb all the water. But I was like, I thought there was no holes in this one. I was like, great, now I have to buy that little like base thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's up with these pots having holes in them? Like, spilling water everywhere. I was like, I'm just trying to be a good plant mom and keep my plants alive. But I did buy it. Look, I have like a new plant here.
Cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of I went to Home Depot to buy like more stuff that I needed to paint the room. Yeah. And I ended up buying more plants. Though someone was like, go to some nursery that is cash only and way cheaper. Oh. So that's probably after I'm done. I'm gonna have like a little day trip over there and get more plants. Cute. Though I have enough. But as I'm sprucing up this like spare bedroom, which may be my bedroom, I don't know. It's like now my office.
It's so pretty.
But now I'm just like, I just want to live in there. And that's the room I used to record in, guys. So remember, there was like a bunch of shoes behind me and like a burgundy wall, but I painted it, and it's cute. It's probably gonna be my new room / office. I don't know.
Love it.
It's one of the other ones.
I did find room.
Yeah. I was like, the other room, like I want to get rid of because I have a cow king bed for just me, so I want to get rid of that. And like the furniture is like, it just doesn't feel like me. It's like wood. It's like plain, and I just want to get rid of it, you know?
Yeah.
And
I'm like, keep the cow king.
Well, the mattress is really old. The mattress is over 10 years old, and before the breakup, we were actually talking about getting a new mattress because it's really old and gross and probably needs to get thrown away. But for me, I'm just like, maybe I want like a queen for now, and then whenever I am in a relationship and we go the next step and move in together, then I'll get a cow king with that partner, you know? Yeah, but this one, like, and I don't want to keep this bed frame either, you know? Yeah. Like let me just sell the bed frame. The bedroom set. It doesn't feel like me. It's just plain and boring. And like I like unique stuff. And I saw this dresser on Pinterest that I think they make anymore, and I was like, I want that dresser. But I found like another one I liked, which was completely different, that I might get from. Well, I found it on Wayfair, but I have a friend she told me that like sometimes Amazon has the same stuff but cheaper. So I may like look into it a little bit more and see if I could find something similar to this other thing that I found. But yeah, so that's where we're at with the struggles. Stupid pots, spilling water, broken coffee, and whatever the first thing I said, sriracha.
I found the thing. Speaking of sriracha, it's Ninja Squirrel. That's the brand.
Squirrel. Okay, send that over
and
to me.
They have different like flavors, but oh my gosh, it's so good. And I don't know if they have it anywhere else. I've only seen it at Whole Foods.
Oh,
so
okay. Send it over to me.
I'm sure it's on Amazon. I mean, I don't
I
know.
mean, we have a Whole Foods, and I was thinking of going to Trader Joe's to get like snacks
Mm,
because literally my refrigerator
so
has no
good.
food.
We just did that last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I need some like kind of snack foods,
yeah.
um, because I just get my meals delivered to me, and then I just
Yeah.
buy eggs, and like that's all I really have,
Yum.
and I don't have like any snack food or anything.
Yum, 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 yum.
And sometimes you need snacks.
Hell yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your hot vibe?
High vibes. Aside from my popcorn,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a short. Well, here I think I talked about it a little bit last week, but I took an extra day off,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it was so chill and relaxing and everything I needed. And then I got really, really excited because I was like, cool. Like I took a day off and then it's a short week. And then I realized, oh my gosh, we are going to go hang out in just like 3 weeks. So I
Mm-hmm.
got really excited about our next trip to LA.
LA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, really simple this week. I mean, that's the biggest thing that stands out. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I'm just very excited that we're in the second half of the year. And I feel like we've gone 0 to 60. Like, I feel like we've done a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And then all of a sudden, boom, where it's like the second half of the year.
Let's
And
do
there's
it.
so much
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
upcoming. So I
Yeah.
think I'm just very excited. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm excited for that getaway.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Cause last time I went to LA, I still was very emotionally
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Sure.
So like it was fun
Yeah.
and it was good for me to go, but God, when you're going through
Still
heartbreak,
heavy. Yeah.
it's heavy, and it's just
Yeah.
like you go to these places. So at least for me, like I went to these places thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have a break from it, I'm gonna have fun, and then like
Mhm.
you have fun, and then you lie in bed and you're like, the sadness just like fucking
Yeah.
hits you, and
Yeah.
you're like, am I ever going to be happy again? And
Yeah.
it's just like, God. I mean, I guess I've never been through heartache, and this was like the first one, and I didn't know how to
Yeah.
fucking deal with myself. But anyways, before I get into that update, my high vibe is definitely painting my room.
It's so
So
cute.
I didn't. So I started buying. I bought the paints like back at the end of May or
Mhm.
mid May. I can't remember. And I was like very, very avoiding. I was avoiding the room. Like it wasn't that I was avoiding. It was just like anytime I wanted to do it, something would come up. Like somebody would invite me somewhere,
Mhm.
and I was just like in the energy of like I'd rather go do that.
Mhm.
Or if I was home, I just was really sad and like cried half the day, and it was just kind of like I couldn't get myself to do it.
Mhm.
And then one afternoon, I told my sister, "Hey, come over so I could move the furniture." So she helped me move the furniture, and then my niece was like bugging me, and she helped me put like the primer on one night. Um, so then finally, like this week, or last week, I was just started to paint, and I was like, I need to finish it this week. Like I need to finish it this weekend. Um, so I think um, I did the primer somehow last week, and then Tuesday I was like, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint at least one wall tonight. Like Tuesday night, I was like, at least one wall, I'm gonna paint it. And so I went and painted 3 walls, which were all the 3 walls that I needed as white. Um, and when I woke up Wednesday morning, I went into the room and I just like got excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to paint more. And I was like, well, I can't paint tonight and I can't paint Thursday, so I'm going to paint Friday. And so Saturday is going to be like the last day that I finish everything. And just that fact, it just got me really excited just to see the progress of the room. And I guess the paint I got, because even though I put primer on, the paint I got was like the paint that covers it all anyway. So I didn't have to do a second coat. So I did one coat of primer and then one coat of paint. And there was just some spots on the wall that I missed. So I just went back and like covered those spots. And I wasn't going to do the ceiling, but the ceiling was a different white than the walls. So I went and did the ceiling, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Um, and it just, you know, as I went to Home Depot yesterday because I needed to buy brushes for the corners and all that, for like the more detailed stuff, I just got really excited and I finished painting the room. I have to go back and do some spot touches because I did one wall, the accent wall last. And like near the borders, even though I put tape on it, I would sometimes get outside of the tape and hit like the other side of the wall, or like the paint just kind of spattered on the, like the trim at the bottom. So I have to go back with the brush and paint the wall, which I have one whole bucket of paint left. So it just got me really excited to like, oh my god, I have a space that's my own. It was just like walking into like a whole new dimension when I opened the door, because the room was like a, well, you could see the wall over there. It's like a cinnamon color and then like a tan wall,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of dark. And so by doing this like white color, even though I have one dark accent wall, it just makes the room look brighter and bigger and
Mm-hmm.
cheerful, and it just, I feel like it
Yeah.
matches me. And
Yes.
you know, since we got this house, I've been wanting to paint the walls. I've never done it, and my ex really liked the walls, they like the color they were, and so we never like did anything. And now that it's just like I'm getting rid of the stuff that like doesn't feel like me. Like, not that I hated it, it doesn't feel like me. It just makes me feel like, this is like my space. And that's why I'm debating
Yes.
whether the spare bedroom, because originally it was just going to be an office, but
Yeah.
I'm debating whether it should just be my bedroom.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to stay in the bedroom I'm in now, I was like, I have to paint it. And I was like, well, maybe I should paint it anyway, because, you know, like at the end of the day, I've always wanted this house to rent out.
Mm.
So if even if I do, I don't know when that's going to happen, but even if I do like paint it and fix it, at least like the renters will have like a nicer, I
Mm-hmm.
think, looking home, you know. And
Yeah.
I could always come back to this house, you know.
Right.
So I may hire people next time. We'll see, you know, because like the change, I like the transformation. It's just doing the stuff, especially by yourself, is really time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to go have fun and do things. So, you know, I may be like either recruit help or hire people to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
just to make it quicker, you know. So I'll have to see how much that will cost. But I may end up like just like repainting and doing the whole house because I got the bug. I got the bug. I got
Yeah.
the bug, and
Yeah.
it's just exciting. And you know, like, I'm just like, okay, how much is that going to cost me? So I have to look at all the costs and see what I
Yeah.
could do. Because I do, like, want the space to feel different.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's the stuff. Is like, painting the room was such a high vibe. Like, I just got really excited when, like, I walked in and it was not done yet, but it was, like, in the middle of the transformation.
You
And
can
so,
feel it. Yeah. You
yeah,
feel
yeah.
the
So
difference.
after I get
Yeah.
back from, like, Disneyland and my work trip, I'm just like purchasing items for that room. Oh, sorry, my throat got really dry.
All good.
And so it's just exciting to see the transformation happen.
Yeah.
You know? So my healing journey.
Can't wait to hear.
Let me just look something up. I'll cut this part out. So, one of these things I'm learning is, I the way I'm in a relationship is like, I guess everyone, when we're in a relationship, we have these things called attachment styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like three big ones, but I guess some people could have like a mix of one. But there's secure attachment, there's avoidant, and there's anxious attachment. And what I have is, you guessed it, anxious attachment. Oh, basically, you fucking go crazy and you let your emotions just kind of take over, and you do shit that you probably know better, but you still do. Like, my thing is like, when I was with Chewy, like when he was mad at me, I would call him like 5 million times until he picked up, like literally 30 times until he picked up. And it's just like, it's just crazy, right? So what I found online was, this one says anxious preoccupied. Hold on, let me see what it is. It's hard to like explain. Anxious attachment is one of the 4 attachment styles that develop in childhood and continue into adulthood. Attachment styles refer to the particular way in which an individual relates to other people. Anxious, anxious, anxious attachment relationships are characterized by a concern that others will not reciprocate one's desire for intimacy, which is what I had. Individuals with an anxious attachment style exhibit a preoccupation, is that what it is? Yeah, with the availability of responsiveness of significant others such as parents, friends, and romantic partners. Such individuals crave intimacy but also remain anxious regarding whether other romantic partners will meet their emotional needs. Autonomy and independence make them feel anxious. Oh, let's see. This is a long way of saying it. I'm trying to see. Like, anyways, look it up. But a lot of it stems from like abandonment wounds,
Mm.
right? And so, working with my breakup recovery coach, she mentioned like these abandonment wounds could be something big or could be something little as your parents just going to work and you feeling sad about them leaving you at the babysitters or anything. So I was like going through my memories, and I mean I had a lot of that, like my mom would leave us at my aunt's house and my aunt wasn't the best babysitter, or my grandpa would watch us and I would get yelled at when my brother like destroyed the house even though my grandpa was watching us, and there was a one time when I was really little when my mom's grandma passed away. And I don't know how old I was. I was maybe 3 or 4, but I remember going to my aunt's house and my dad going to work. And my mom had to go to Mexico to, do all the funeral stuff. And me being sad at like top of the stairs waiting for my dad to come home to pick me up, and my aunt saying like he'll be home soon, but it was like hours, literally like as soon as I got there he was like he'll be home soon, but he wasn't home soon. It was hours. It was 8 hours.
Mm.
But in all of that, like I didn't feel that's why I felt the way I felt. Like I don't like, yeah, there were sad moments, but I didn't feel like fully abandoned,
Mm.
like something that would trigger like a trauma response. And then like on 4th of July, cuz I had a pretty rough weekend last weekend. Like I went to like a friend's party who are also Chuy's friends. Chuy wasn't there, but just seeing every people that like knew him kind of stirred up things in me. So I got really really sad all weekend. And basically came home and cried after that. Cried Sunday too. And did I cry 4th of July? I don't remember what I did 4th of July. I don't remember crying. I might have cried in the morning. But so I got home and I was just like going to sleep, and I just had this like fantasy that I was like on a date with a celebrity, because I saw a picture of a celebrity that said he was single, and I was like, oh, it's because he's waiting for me. Okay. So I was just like pretending like, oh, I'm on this like what our first date would look like. And like in the first date I was telling him about how my parents came to this country, and then it fucking hit me like a motherfucking ton of bricks. I got up and I was like, these are not mine. These abandonment wounds are not mine. They're actually generational, because my mom, when she was 11 months, her mom left her with her grandma, while siblings were with aunts and uncles. And this is very common for us Mexican Americans during that time, like late 70s. I'm sorry, not 70s. Those were like I don't know what year it was, 60s. There you go. 60s into the 70s into the 80s, where the parents would come to the US to work and leave them behind in Mexico. And because they were working on their green card, the families were so big, only a few of them could get green cards or into the country. So it took a while before the whole family came. So my mom was, my grandma was a single mother, left my mom behind. My mom didn't meet her until she was like actually 5, like her real mom. And she knew about her, but it's because it was, the 60s. We didn't have fucking iPhones and all that. Traveling wasn't cheap. So my grandma would send money and all that, but my mom didn't meet her mom until she was 5. That's an abandonment wound within itself, and the thing with her father. Then on the other side, you have my dad, who my grandpa was in the Bracero program. That ended, and my grandpa, he got his green card, and so he started I guess commissioning is the word, but started helping get, started getting his family into the US, but they could only do like a certain amount at a time. They're a family of
Mm-hmm.
9 fucking children, so you can't bring them all. So at one point, when my dad was a tween, was left alone with his younger siblings, and he was in charge of like taking care of the house, my grandpa's livestock. I don't know what he had, but like, my dad was suffering anxiety from that, and actually like his aunts called my grandparents and were like, you need to get him because he's struggling. And and they brought him illegally because he couldn't manage it. Of course you can't manage it when you're a fucking tween. You're like a tween trying to take care of children, so like these these attachments wounds and this anxiety wasn't even mine. I literally got up and I was like, it's not mine, not mine. Got up, wrote it in my journal, started crying because I was like, oh my God, these are not mine. And it was just like releasing them to cry. I was like, whoa, this is what it is. And it's just like, I had to remind myself, like, I had to like tell myself, okay, I'm healing that. I'm healing. It's like a generational trauma healing wound. And it's just like, God, angels, universe, these are no longer mine. I release them from my body. I release them from me. And also reminding myself that I'm safe. I'm safe. I am loved. My community is different than what I originally thought it could be, and I'm not being abandoned. I'm actually, letting go of things that no longer serve me and were not serving me into the community that actually is my people, are my soul people that, that are waiting for me to join them. So that was just like this big, deep revelation.
Holy
And it was just like,
shit.
it's deep. But it's just like, it's
Holy
so
shit.
yeah, and it's so interesting because for me it was just like this was just this big old like and generational wound, generational trauma, right? That I had to discover, and I couldn't have discovered it if I wasn't in this relationship, right? And it wasn't in this, and like because I was in this relationship, I felt stuck in something in me was dying, and I went to go search for that. And the first thing I did was create a podcast and like interviewed immigrants and their stories. And of course, I started with my family, and then like I had this heartbreak that happened, and like we broke up in February, and I was still crying in July, because it's a big shift for me, and so it like just all like I just saw how all the puzzle pieces came together, and I was like, well, if I didn't have that, then I wouldn't have this, I wouldn't have this, and then I wouldn't have discovered this. But it's so funny, it's just like all the pieces were there, I just put them together in that moment where I was daydreaming about dating Milo whatever his name is.
I can't do his last name.
Ventamigalos, I just call him my Italian stallion, okay?
Yeah.
Because he's single, he likes to camp, and I'm just like, every day I go to sleep, I just look at his pictures like, Milo. And I've loved him since Heroes. I did not watch Gilmore Girls, so I don't know him from that.
Oh, I forgot he was on Heroes.
Yeah, he was in Heroes. Yeah, he was.
Oh, Lord.
So it was just like deep, and I was like, holy motherfucking shit. And so that's why I haven't needed to call you all week, Leia, because I just like released a whole bunch of fucking shit.
That's like huge. Huge. And so relatable too, because my family's still doing that shit. Like today. Like, I mean, like, but that's there's nothing wrong with it. You just do what you do, right? Like to come to this country and leave everyone behind to have more opportunity to send back to them. That's real. Like that still happens. And I think I'm so excited and so happy for you because you got to see it. Like that's huge. Like it's so huge to like shift that. And I'm sure like other things will come up from it that you'll realize and put together, because healing is just healing. You keep doing it.
Yeah, you're always healing.
You're always healing. And I think that's beautiful, because I remember, I mean, maybe even a few weeks ago, like I was like, one day it'll make sense. One day it's going to make sense. why you were in this relationship, why things had to happen the way they did. One day it's going to make sense. And I'm so excited that this huge thing came up, because you get to, not only do you heal yourself, but you heal the generations before you and the generations after you. And I think that's, it is so cool. And so, I mean, it really touched my heart, because that's my experience as, you know, coming from, you know, immigrating to this country myself, and my family as well. And I still have family immigrating and doing the same thing, whether it's in the United States or in Dubai. And, you know, mothers and or fathers leave their families and they go and send money home. And it's still like a very real thing. And to experience that and know like there's like there you can create, like, see it and create safety and heal it, you know. And I think it's very real, and I think that's awesome.
And I think like that release Monday night really prepared me for some stuff that happened during the week. Like there was some communication with my ex for something, and I think at first I was just like, it was like nothing, you know. It wasn't anything like bad. It was just kind of like, for me, I was just like at first, and like I just kind of had to step back, and like I realized that I wasn't as reactive. Like in my mind, I was super reactive, and I just like stepped back and, you know, kind of took my time with replying, and didn't make it a big deal, and almost like okay, and like was able to be more calm about it. Where like just a week ago, I was just like blah, you know, and it's just like I still like longed for him, you know, and I'll be like fully transparent. Like the breakup was hard. And it happened, and there were still moments where I just wanted him to be here, like the stuff that I loved about our relationship, you know. And I would like call him and be needy and beg, even though like in my mind I'm like, you know, this relationship is over. We grew apart. You know, I was still trying to hold on to something, you know, and and like I don't have a rebound relationship, you know, so that's hard. And like the rebound relationship is me, you know, like I need to heal me. That's like what it is. And you know, I do go on the Tinders and all that and Bumbles, but mainly for like content. But I also do believe that there's, you know, universal protection. Like I know that I am not fully ready to be in the next relationship, because if I'm gonna be Mrs. Milo Ventimiglia, I gotta get myself ready for Milo, you know, like you know, he's waiting on me to like just get emotionally ready for him, because, you know, we're gonna like, he's just, you know, he's passionate about his career. That's why he's still single. I'm passionate about my career too, so we have that in common. Because I feel like when we're together when we get together, this is the order of our priorities: our career, ourselves, and then our relationship. You know, our relationship's third. And it's going to be the same, and we're going to be okay with that. And we're going to be working side by side. You know, he's going to be running his lines, and I'm going to be doing whatever I'm doing, just next to each other. And that's going to be our love, you know? And, you know, it's like, I just, you know, like me playing with the spatial hair. We're going to go hiking together at Joshua Tree, because he was doing that. I saw it on his Instagram, and he just had a birthday. So happy birthday, hubby.
My God.
So literally, like, that is like,
you manifest that shit, girl.
I'm manifesting it hard. And like anytime like I start getting sad, literally in my head I'm like, my Italian stallion. Like I just say that, Italian stallion. And when I go on like Bumble and Tinder, I'll be like, are you my Italian stallion? Do you look Italian? Maybe I need to go to Italy. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, everyone's in Italy right now. It's crazy.
I know. I'm gonna wait. But you know, I'm like, all that is like, I'm joking, but like I know that like for me is what, you know, I've been told, and like, you know, I've been doing a bunch of readings with people and everything. It's just like, start healing me so that I, instead of having this anxious attachment style, I move into the secure attachment style. And even though my default is anxious, I can catch things and analyze them and kind of go deep down in the layer of things. Like something happened last night that triggered me, like nothing big. It was just all in my head. Nothing like in the outside world affected me. It was just like in my head. And I just had to go through the process, and like I wrote it down this morning, and it was just kind of like, at the end of it, like what I discovered, like at first I was mad, like I'm like, how dare you do this? And there was nothing that was done. It was something that I did, and then I was just like, how dare you do that to me? And I was like, but I did that, And then I was just like, what's the actual truth? And I was like, well, we both needed to do this thing to heal. We both needed to do this one specific thing, and we both did it because it was part of our healing. It's part of letting go of each other. Like, let's be honest here, Erica. It's not about you and da 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 da. And then the subconscious like thought was like, I will never find love again. That was like deep down. That's like one of my fears. I was like, oh shit, I'll never find love again, because like I think all of that, like when that thing went in my mind, is because like I had some matches on like Tinder, and I think they went away because I think they were like scam profiles, and I was like, why do I get the scammers? Or like the guys aren't replying or anything like that. So I was just kind of feeling kind of like in the lows, because I was like, I have a pretty face, I have hot pictures on there, like what's going on? I am been stupid. But so it was just kind of like all of that, and I was like, this morning it was like, no, I'm gonna choose to be happy today. I'm gonna go see Thor. I'm gonna hang out with people. I'm gonna make friends. I'm okay. Yes. And my room looks awesome. I went to the room and just like sat there. It still smells like paint, but I just had to get like the vibes of the room. So that's where the healing journey's at, and I don't feel as anxious, and like my calls with Leia have basically gone away. Like during this breakup, I was just talking to Leia like every 5 seconds,
You needed to connect.
Yeah, okay. I just needed to connect because it was really hard to be by myself, and I just needed to say things and speak things out into the ether, because then it just was internalizing, and it didn't matter. Like some people were like, journal, and I was like, I've been fucking journaling. Like how my hand is gonna fall off because I've been fucking journaling for so long. But I think eventually some of this is going to be like, I feel like a lot of my life right now is a telenovela. And I was like remembering our conversation with Sarah, and I was like, oh, like audio podcast. I was like, it could be a book too, because I'm listening to a book. It's called Eat, Pray, FML. It's actually really good. If you guys pick it up, cute. It's like Eat, Pray, Love, but it's Eat, Pray, Fuck My Life. And she's actually the person that wrote this. What's their name? Gabrielle Stone. So her mom was the mom in E.T. So she's like an actress, but now I think she helps women with like healing, and she has a crazy story. But this is like a story if you ever had heartbreak, because she had so she got like divorced, but I don't think she was really into her husband. So her husband like had cheated on her. But like right after she got divorced, she met this guy. Like she had never been single her entire life. Like her dad died when she was young, and then she had a boyfriend die like when she was like 18. So she had never been single. She had always jumped from like partner to partner. So she got like, she wasn't even fully divorced yet, and within like a few weeks she met this other guy, and they were like head over heels. And like few days before going on this European trip, he dumped her because he was going through some personal like stuff. And so she, like her whole trip, so right now she's like in her trip in Europe, and like her whole trip is that heartache with him, not the ex-husband, but like with him. So I think it's relatable for any type of heartache. And it's actually fun. Like if you have it on Audible, it's fun how she reads it, and all that, because she really has like, oh my fucking God, and like the anger. But she has this thing called like the thought onion, where she's like, what's the superficial thought, what's the authentic thought, what's the subconscious thought. So, and I think she's a coach too. So I found her because there was like a reel on Instagram that I really, really liked, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use that eventually. And I'll play it here. But it and then like I saw her stories, and I was like, oh, okay. So I just kind of started following her, but I had to get the book. So I'm listening to the book right now as I was painting, and I was like, oh, this is really good.
Oh, I'm gonna have I have a long plane ride.
Yeah. So go download it. It's really good. It's just around heartache and like finding yourself. And like her story was like, I want to take a trip to Europe. So I told my friend I wasn't going to go to Egypt, but then
Mm-hmm.
I messaged her. I was like, don't fully count me out. I'm still debating. But just let me know. I don't know. Because now I'm like, I want to go, but like, I really want to go to Europe.
Yeah.
And I want to do it by myself, but I'm like scared to do it by myself because I don't know what to do. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what I do. I may not go to Egypt and just save my money to go to Europe like next spring and like happy birthday to me.
Yes.
It might be my birthday present to myself.
Yes.
You know, a big old Euro trip. But anyways, that's my healing process. And I
Ugh,
wanted to share
so
because
good.
anxious attachment style, I think for me, it's just, it's for, it could be one of the worst just because like, in the way I see it is like I'm a smart person. I'm a very intelligent person. I know I am. I could process a lot of things. I put clues together. I was just telling Leia that I'm a great detective because we're spying on our friend's Instagram account. And I was putting clues together. And I was like, "What are you doing? I'll see you." We love you though. We'll tell you later who you are. But anyways, you know, like I consider myself a very intelligent person, but in this with this anxious attachment style, all of that goes out the door. I'm just kind of, and then like I'm kind of this like little child just crying, and it's like, and I do these things, and as I'm doing them, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I know better than this, and like what's going on? Like I don't understand what's happening, and like later on, I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? Like literally, like no control over what I had, like no, like my emotions just take over and I have no control of what I'm doing, you know? And it could be very dangerous if you let it, you know? And like the thing is like catching it and like understanding what it is, and no matter how whatever I did, how embarrassing it is or how inauthentic it was to who I really am, at the end of the day I'm learning from them and I'm growing from them, and I need to understand the side of me because it's the shadow side of me, it's the dark side of me. It's important for me to understand that because I like you know, finding out where the core wound came from releases me from those actions and releases me and has me grow so that in the next relationship that I'm in, I don't bring this with me. I don't go back to the same relationship. And so many people just jump into another relationship which is exactly the same as the other one. To some shape or form, you know, there's like no difference because you're not doing the healing. And as much as it fucking sucks to be by yourself, it's so important to understand that because when you go to the next relationship you don't bring that with you, and you're bringing a whole new experience. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. That was really passionate of me. I was like, oh yeah, but you know, I just feel it, like, you know, because as soon as the breakup happened, I was like, I'm not going to be in this relationship ever again. Like with another person, I'm not going to be in the same relationship. Like I know I did a lot of stuff wrong, and I did it because I loved the person and I wanted them to love me as much as I loved them. And I did a lot of things that put me in the back burner because I wanted that person to know that I loved them, and I hoped and I wished that they put me more in the forefront. But it didn't, you know, it didn't, because I didn't put myself first, and I kind of showed them how they should have treated me, and that's kind of like where our downfall was, because I didn't show them that I was putting myself first or what was important to me. And by the time I was like, these things are important to me, I wanted to go after these things, it was a little too late. You know, so yeah, there's just a lot of growing up. A lot of growing up.
Love it. So many things. I'm so excited for you. It's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going through a heartache, let me know if this helped. I want to hear it. And I'll be sharing more and more eventually, and maybe like write a book one day. I was like thinking about it. I was like, maybe I should write a book.
You should self-publish.
Audio only, you know, and like I think I could do a good job, even though I don't know. I'm not like a writer, like per se, but I'm creative.
Yeah.
And, you know, people get help all the time. And so, and I don't know. I just think the story that I have to tell is a story that a lot of women have. And it's important to share it because by telling it, you heal other women.
Yeah.
You know, like this lady with her Eat Pray FML.
Yeah.
You know, she had that shared story, and you feel less alone in what you're going through, because it can be so isolating and lonely, and you feel like a failure when you have a relationship fall apart after 15 years and you're in your 40s without children, without the wedding you didn't want, you know, or wanted, sorry. Because I wanted a wedding and children, you know, and all of a sudden I'm like, the clock's ticking. But, you know, my wedding with Milo is going to be amazing.
Oh, yes.
Or my Italian stallion.
Yes.
All right, guys, that is all for today. Thank you for listening. We may be doing skipping one week or doing a rerun just because we forgot a plan. I'm going to be out next week, so is Leia, and totally forgot to plan that because I was painting my room.
We love you guys.
We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.